First of all, just need to calm myself down because the stupidity. Tagimejo, I hope that my videos are not just too nonsensical because of me trying to articulate the level of stupidity that I'm forced to start reasoning like. It's clear that the clowns around here have a purpose of just trying to break you down. It is amazingly idiotic that I'm going to make videos about that because I want to be somewhere where I'm supposed to be around very intellectual people and I'm listening to these videos. I think this video is going to be more for me. Humiliated this trash around me. First and foremost, I know that this program consists of manipulation and alteration of the human mind, and they rewire the human mind. And then there's a layer to that consists of individuals who are supposed to make you identify with this. The technology that Target Video deal with is technology that can alter the brain. But they also have this aspect of this technology where you hear these people pop their voices in your brain. And, as I'm being manipulated, for example, right now, I hear somebody say, yeah, we're just hearing your mind. So we're just listening to what you experience, or we're observing your mind. And it's a way to just try to gaslight you. And these people are what you call perps. And with technology called V2K, they can pipe those voices into your brain. This is technology coming from the Department of Defense. It's not some alien entities doing that to us. It's not some cult entity doing that to us. It's very much, unfortunately, governmental entities utilizing human subjects as target individual, as a test subject, which are target individual. We deal with technology that is extremely advanced, and you understand that there's a psychological game here that's being applied onto you to make you identify with the way you're being manipulated. And that's the point where you hear these clowns become the clowns that they contracted to be. And the things they say is just so stupid sometimes. It's just like, it becomes comical, even though it's agitating and frustrating. It's like between frustration, anger, and pure comic. And they really want you to take that serious. The stupidity of how they're assessing you. And I think for me, there's a lot of very childlike people, but there's also very much adult-like individual, very smart individual of all sorts. But gaslighting consists of using behaviors that they can behave in such ways that's supposed to make you think that because they behave in this stupid way, you should identify with. It's so stupid. What I'm gonna say, I know, is on borderline mental retardation. I know it sounds stupid, but there are perps here, truly around you, to try to convince you that this would make sense, and that's proof. For me, it's okay. Let them be disconnected with this reality for the purpose of maintaining the fantasized reality. Today, one of the degrading tactics they have utilized to break me down is a way to manipulate me, to degrade me, by making me have sexual arousals, perceptions toward children. They play with my brain in ways to perceive children in sexual ways, from the little ones to the older kids. And the babies, it really breaks my heart. It does agitate me, disturb me, but they're just innocent babies. And it's so nasty to get these experiences, but I cannot truly hate these children for how I'm being forced to experience these things. The teenage trash, though. When I mean that is, if I get pushed too far, I think that I can get to the point where things, unfortunately, can get to an aggressive state. Because I don't know if you've been agitated by teenagers, they can get to you like an annoying way. But they tell me that right now in my environment, there are children around that they're interacting with me in this setup way. Apparently, I'm in communication with teenagers. They're gonna frame me. They're gonna have kids act like they're getting raped by me, and that I'm in some kind of romantic relationship with one of these trash, multiple trashes over there. I heard multiple, 3, whatever number it is. That I'm with them. You heard a lot in my videos that they're prepping some frame of some sort. I made multiple videos about that. Now, based on that alone, you know what kind of assessment we're talking about. Because that's what they call it. They want me to think that my brain is not being manipulated, but they let me know they're gonna frame me. This is the things I deal with. And they want me to really think I'm not being manipulated. Understanding that I'm being framed. Let me just bring up what right now they do. When I go to the train or wherever I go, there's always some teenage trash following me. That's why I'm scared that if they keep pushing me, things are gonna go bad. There's times when I've been in a train when it's like tight squeezes and I've noticed that some of these teenagers come by and just kind of hit me or just try to make contact with me. Try to like feel me, or like just like have some kind of contact. My hand will be somewhere and they just like graze their self on me. Or in the train, or not even the train, but in the subway, when you get into the elevator, it'll be like a full elevator. I noticed some teenager try to get close to me, put like their shoulder against my, like, because they're short, like against my arm. Really try to get close to me. And so when that happened, what's happening is they start playing my brain to try to perceive these kids in sexual, no, just have some kind of sexual experience or thoughts about it. And so, for example, and they will bring up a moment where I was in the train perhaps, and I hit, or they hit me, or they passed by me and just they make themselves felt, but like rubbing against, like their arms against me, and I guess they're not like, they're not muscular, so they're like soft in that sense of like don't have muscle. So they try to turn these thoughts in something sexual. This little disturbing little tiny little fucking dwarf or teenage kids. And like, no, you see, they start making me imagine in some kind of sexual way. I was like, oh, it's like, yeah, you think you're soft, they're soft. And they make me imagine like a woman who's like supple, like you know, who's soft in the sense of like she's curvaceous, but she's not, you know, like she's soft in that way. Excuse my language for the graphic and sexual things that I'm going to speak about. That's how they rewire my thoughts in these ways. But they aim that toward these fucking retarded little teenage kids. And literally people was like, oh, she's soft. It's like, no, you're making me think of this. Well, I don't care if she's soft or hard. You think I've ever think of this little trash in a sexual way? Soft, hard, she can be full of muscle, she can be full of... But you are just rewiring it in something that turned into something to think in a sexual way. And this little retard's like, now we're soft, we're soft. Dude, you're soft. You're soft. You got a soft brain. So, and this perps immediately just start trying to say some disturbing things like, yeah, no, this your genetics is genetics. And let me just say this. I know that what I'm saying is hard to comprehend because as target individual, our mind are being altered to think in this nonsensical way, and then reinforced by retards around you that pipe their voices into your brain. And like, yeah, no, we just minded you, we mapped you. They're gonna rape you. They're assholes. Then the validation started like where, because yesterday I was in the office and there's a coworker of mine. Now, I'm not gonna pretend that I don't think of women in sexual ways. I don't think I think of it more than other men. I think most men straight men who are into women think about women a lot. Okay, I don't think I think more than the majority of men. I think maybe it's the same. But I acknowledge and I know that I think a lot about women, or I can. I'm not this innocent man. There's a coworker of mine, and they're all pursed, by the way. But I do have a weakness for women. I do enjoy flirting with women, or at least showing some attention somehow to women. So I said something, try to be somewhat funny, and as I leave, I think I hit her shoulder, arm area, and I hit her there. Immediately, kind of make me start thinking in a sexual way. Now, I'm sure they push me to think this way, but because me as a man who think about women sexually, I have done that many times. So I don't care too much about that, because in my regular ways, without being manipulated, I could think about it in a sexual way. I'm sure they kind of made me think this way, but it's okay. I'm like, either way, in myself, I could think that way, right? And they make me think of, okay, this woman is somewhat curvaceous, and maybe that's not full of muscles, and it's probably somewhat soft in a way. But that's a grown woman, right? Maybe in her 30s. They go back to make me think of this little teenager, little nothings. And yeah, you feel they're soft. You see, we matched it. And then immediately you hear this trash say, oh, this is genetics. And they truly are boxing in this retardation. I know the way what I'm speaking about sounds almost insane. And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah. And they make me think of this little teenager and it's a lot of mind games and mental battles they try to create, because then they make me think of me being, and this is all of the games that they play in your mind, that's damn near retarded. Make me think of when I was with a ex-girlfriend of mine who is a perp. She had a younger cousin who was like a late teen, and when we say goodbye, I remember we used to hug everybody, and I remember hugging her, and when I hugged her, she felt like my little sister. It felt like family. Because this little kid, not a kid, like a kid that's turning into an adult, but like a little sister. And I guess they try to make me think, like the soft, it's like a kid, it's like I felt like family here. She made me feel like I was part of family. She made me feel like I was part of this family, and I started feeling like she was like a little sister to me, right? Very wholesome kind of way. And I guess she was soft because she's like a wholesome way. And they try to be like, yeah, no, our teenager, they're gonna rape you. Isn't it genetic? They just rewire these things in these ways. And then you hear this little retard kid's like, nah, and then in the hallways, like, yeah, no, we're soft, huh? And they call themselves beautiful because apparently in the interaction that they're creating, they're being addressed as beautiful by quote-unquote me. I'm like, you're a bunch of retarded shit. I don't care how soft you are, how hard you are. If you a little dumb shit, I will slap your soft brain. And to hear this retard, it is one guy here. I don't know how childlike this guy is. I don't know if he's a grown man or not, but either way, it's the same thing. He starts saying it's genetics. And it's clear he says these things because he wants me to think that he's analyzing these things. It's not obvious that he's clearly trying to rewire and create mental battles in these things. So I can just stay strong. For me, I want them to use this stupidity as their validation. I want to be listening to these things I just said. Look at the clowns and say, yeah, we proved that they trash us. They are manipulating my brain toward these retards. I wish the next time they bring the stuff there, I'll show them who you can have a good view of what I'm talking about. These little teenagers. Then now they make me think of this. They are the ones that should make themselves work in every way. They rewind my brain, perception-wise, stimulations, libido, thought process, memory, sensations, all of that played with to rewire it in some pedophilia ways. They make me think of this, like, I remember, and when I got a camera. If I look up and I can see them try to swing their leg, their hips, try to walk in a sexual way, not in a sexual, in a womanly way. And they try to play my perception, try to create like some target individual. You gotta be strong. But these clowns are low life, with no shame, who even use these things as a way to validate them. And they tell me about these horrible things. They use these fear tactics as a way to make me subscribe to it. It's like they're gonna tear you up. It's like, let's go. I'm running to it. You saw a video of me walking towards somebody with a machete. Because they think that's what's supposed to make me identify with these things. They think this is what should be making me. They are really doing everything possible for the target individual to identify with this. I'm like, I'll run to you, whatever torture I go through. You think I'm gonna let your retarded ass? You're gonna deal. I'm gonna face the retarded. I'm gonna put that retardation in this people's face. I want them to eat and leave the stupidity that they live in, and I want to put down video. And when people come with the machete, it's like, this little trash that follows me that tries to get near me. Let's go, because they're mapping. Target individuals, stay strong and understand that you could have been living like these clowns. As much fun as they're having today, man, I'm so thankful. That fun is not something I enjoyed. I participated in. I pray that they live nothing but this kind of fun. To all my target individuals, stay strong. Right now they talk about their soft butt. And there's one kid that tried to like hit her butt against me. I had to dodge her. Can you imagine? Kids, teenagers, running in front of me, stopping in front of me, and just bending over in the middle of the street. Target me, just stay strong and see this trash where they are, and they make me imagine the stay strong.